Hello, everyone, and welcome to Achievement Hunting 101. I am your favorite Wild West 08, and probably the only one that you know as Wild West 08. Elle has some fantastic news to share with us in the future, and we hope to have him on and share that news with each and every one of you personally. So this week, I am joined by KooshMoose.
Hello.
What is going on, Koosh? How are you doing?
Oh, I am fantastic. I got back from the beach and I had some staycation left over. So I played a lot of games and I did a lot of sleeping and I didn't go to work until today. So today was the first or second day back. Let's say Tuesday. Yes. So second day back. Kind of easing my way back into the grind. Although when you're gone for 2 weeks, roughly, there's a lot of picking up broken pieces when you come back, especially in my profession. I have a lot of things that are broken and I'm fixing them. So I'm getting back into work and I got a lot of playtime while I was gone and I love it.
So the beach was good, nice and warm?
Beach was good. The beach internet is continuously not great. But
let's talk to Trump about that.
As far as gaming goes at the beach, I relied on the cloud because when I tried to play things locally, they were not great. I was playing on a Surface, and it's just not super powerful. It's not a gaming laptop. So I was relying on the cloud to play Atlas Fallen a good bit and some other things as well. I was trying to play the Retro Arcade. Trying to play the Retro Arcade on cloud on bad internet is about as bad as Waka being in Ghana and trying to play. I think that's where he was, Ghana, and trying to play anything with their kind of internet. It felt similar to me because things would not load. Like the main game would load and said, "Oh, let's go play a Hero or something," and then it would just sit and spin and not do anything. So I did have success with that by installing the game on my Surface, and then I was able to play it. But even then, like 2 out of 10 times or something, it just wouldn't connect to find the game because that is streaming, Atari games basically, or these classic emulated games, through your whatever. And so that wasn't working really well unless I was playing on the Surface. And as far as Atlas Fallen, I was able to play that one on the cloud pretty well. So which is surprising to me. I can play a game like Atlas Fallen, an open world, action RPG, no problem. But I cannot play Retro Arcade via the cloud. It's crazy times. So I'm actually really looking forward to that ROG Ally. I think it's going to make the beach a lot better for me because I don't have to stash an Xbox in my backpack. I can just take a ROG Ally. So that's what I'm hoping Santa brings me this year.
Well, you have a little bit of charge of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm hoping the same too. I was a little sad to hear that it's mostly going to be the streaming aspect of it. I was hoping it'd be more of you can install, maybe a few games. I never want to have a lot installed anyway. So just having a few games installed and playing off that with an internet connection would have been perfect for me. I think I'm going to wait just a little bit, just get some reviews, see how it looks. And then, because I doubt it's going to be one of those ones that's going to sell out unless they just produce very minimal amount of copies of it. I might just wait, kind of see, maybe you can be my guinea pig and just, see how it goes. And then if it looks well and it, the reviews are well for it, then I'll probably bite the bullet. But man, they came out with those prices in the last, or confirmed the prices, I guess, and $1,000 for the Mega Edition one.
Wait. They confirmed the prices already? I thought it was still kind of.
I thought
I hadn't heard 1,000. I was hearing
yes, no, it is 700. That's for the small. That's for the smaller one. That's probably what I would do. Let me see if I can see this real fast. But yeah, they came out with confirmation. I thought I saw on TA that they came out with a confirmation that on the prices of it and that it was what we had.
Well, I'll have to double check. My understanding was that the smaller one was going to be like 700 or something like that. And I was thinking, I'll probably expand it. I obviously haven't done all my research, but that's something I'm looking into because I definitely don't want to stuff like an Xbox in my backpack. I got yelled at that yelled at for
Did
doing
you?
that one year. Well, not yelled at, but I was like, "You brought your Xbox." I'm like, I got to keep my streak going on, daily, playing for 15 minutes a day. Like, I'm saving literal pennies by doing this.
You should be thanking me.
Yeah.
I'm saving you pennies that we can use
I'm
to
saving
buy whatever we
pennies.
need to do.
I'm spending more money on electricity than I am saving by playing 15 minutes a day.
Oh, yeah, there we go. So it was on the 8th of August. There was an article on TA. I guess they're still going leaks from Bill Bilkin. Maybe that's how you say it, right? So the Ally X, which is the Mega Edition, is $1,050, and the base Xbox Ally is $700.
Yeah, so I was looking at the lower price and just saying, "Yep, that's my number," but not paying attention to what it bought.
Yeah, so the lower one I believe is the white. I don't know if you can change the colors in it, but I believe the lower one is the white, kind of like just what the Xbox is now. The lower one, the less gadgety one is white, and the higher priced one is black. Yeah, I'll just kind of see how things go, and but
if only there was a great big news event happening this week that they could give us more updates on that. That'd be great.
Well, I guess we'll segue into your Gamers Con that you had. What are your initial thoughts on it?
Oh, I'm sad to say I'm a negative Nancy this time. Normally, I'm very excited for these concerts, for these these things, these meetings where they get together and they show off trailers and things. But this one just did not excite me. Like, I just kept feeling like there was too much shooty going on. It was all very samey. I did not like it. I was not really blown away. And then towards the end, when they started showing some smaller, like indie type games that we kind of know about already, I started to get excited again. And some of the things they showed were exciting too, just that weren't shooty games. Like Onimusha looked great, and some of the other games kind of like that, like the samurai sword type games that they were showing, the ninja type stuff. That looked good too. I just wasn't feeling the first person or the third person shooters this time. Not that I normally really get into them, but they kind of rubbed me the wrong way this time.
Yeah, that's not the kind of style of games, as you know, that I usually play with. They, like the Judases or the Clockworks that are coming out. I was hoping to see something in that realm, or something brand new, but just didn't seem like anything caught my attention. In the pre-show, we were talking, and I mentioned it just seemed a lot of like Japanese style type games, and those, for those people who enjoy it, I'm glad that there's more coming out for you and different varieties of stuff to play. That's not my style most of the time, and the only thing I was excited for, but we already had known it, was the Indiana Jones DLC. I'm hoping to get that because I really enjoyed the game, so I'm looking forward to going back and playing some more on it. But unfortunately, the highlight for me was the Lego Batman new one. It looks fun. So
I was on a work call when that showed up, and I was like, "Whoa!" And I saw him like zipping up to gargoyles. I was like, "Whoa!" He's like doing Batman Arkham type stuff, like the Arkham Takedown. It looks like from what I saw, but I didn't go back and rewatch. So I don't know how much of that is actual gameplay or just a little nod.
There was some gameplay in there, and they brought one of the lead people on the stage afterwards, and they said they're basically drawing from the comic books, from basically every iteration of Batman for this game to make kind of basically like what they did with Star Wars, the Skywalker saga, just make a quintessential Batman Lego game. So,
what else might have just made like me kind of sour on the whole thing was like at the very beginning, Jeff Keighley says Silksong is happening, but you're gonna have to wait till their press conference on the 21st or something. So Team Cherry is going to do their own thing on the 21st, which, magic of podcast timing, like you guys already know what they said. But at the time of watching Gamescom live or, opening night live, it's just kind of a downer. So we don't have a release date yet. And not that I'm going to play it day one. I'm not going to play it day one, obviously, but it'd be so great for it to come out. I have it in Fantasy Critic, so I'm really excited. I'm glad that it's coming out this year, but maybe that was kind of a, maybe I let myself down and just kind of brought everything else down for me by not getting that announcement that I was hoping for.
Yeah. Well, you're just going to play it day one of your Xbox ROG Ally, so
I'm sure I'll download it and fire it up for 5 minutes, but I obviously will want to play Hollow Knight first or finish Hollow Knight, and
yeah,
that means I'm gonna have to start over again because I only got so far into the game and I don't know where anything is anymore, and so play from the start.
yeah. So I guess our kind of consensus seems to be it was a little bit of a downer. It's always good to have Xbox on there. There's definitely a lot of Xbox news, just nothing really for us, or nothing. It just seemed like a retread of other stuff that they've already shown us. So,
and there were some other like leaks before it came out. It's like, oh, this is stuff we're going to hear about. Things like Bubsy 4D. I'm very excited about that. And He-Man and the Master of the Universe, Dragon Pearl of Destruction. That's going to be like a beat 'em up, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games and all that stuff.
yeah,
So I was like, oh man, we're going to hear about this stuff, but we didn't hear about it at Gamescom.
That's a banned word. No saying that word.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So, some other just quick news that I kind of saw in the last 2 weeks, and I'm interested to hear what you have to say and what the listeners have to say. The first one is it was confirmed that we are getting a Helldivers 2 ODST crossover. I am beyond excited for that. It is a legendary war bond. I was reading up on that before just to make sure I got it right. It is going to be a legendary war bond that will be launching alongside the game on the 26th. So a couple days after the podcast comes out.
What does that mean? It's a legendary war bond. Have you done research to know what that means?
A little bit. So I believe that it's basically like a battle pass, is from what my understanding is.
Oh, okay.
It's their version of it. I think there's free ones, and then there's legendary ones that you can buy. I don't know. I was looking through the TA article, and there's people that are going to know it better than I would, but it just seems like it's basically like a premium DLC type pack for it. So
gotcha. Yeah.
I don't know, because a lot of games nowadays, because people are getting so worn out with the battle pass system, that they give you the option to either buy it or you can work on it, and then basically just play a bunch and you can do it without buying it. I don't think that that's how it works with the ODST one. I believe you have to buy it. It comes with 2 character armor sets, a lot of the weapons from ODST, like the assault rifle for Halo, the SMG, all that stuff that's in ODST, the pistol, and then they've got some skins, and then some other stuff. I don't really know much about Helldivers that I would know. It looks like it's just all cosmetic except for the weapons. So, but I mean, it's pretty cool that they're doing stuff like that. I'm looking forward to it. The other thing that I saw that I know will be of interest to the community, because a lot of people on my friends list have played it, is they came out with an update for Hellblade 2, and they dropped a new achievement for completing the Dark Rot playthrough of Hellblade 2. So as you know from the first game, they introduced this mechanic where if you would die, that basically Senua's rot would go up Senua, was supposed to go up Senua's arm and into her head, and eventually she would pass away and everything. People, I guess, tested it out and saw that you could just die as many times as you want and nothing ever happened. This time, it is not the case. I've been reading up on this to see if it was something I'd be interested in doing. Have you had a chance to look into it at all?
Not to get any specifics. I was wondering if anyone had tested it to see how many times you can die.
Yes. So you get 3 deaths in the game.
3? Wow.
So on your 4th death, the game will kick you out and delete the save, and you'll have to start again. So, and you're playing on the hardest difficulty. So it's not. It's definitely going to be something that's going to test you. There is some guides up right now on the TA page for Hellblade 2. There's a lot of people that have tested and put some skills out for you, so to help you out. But I think this came out. Let me see. There's already a bunch of stuff out. Let's see. It looks like it came out almost a week ago. and only 149 people, as of recording, have completed it, and it's got a TA ratio of 30.
Yeah, the combat wasn't the best thing about that series, so yeah, I'm gonna let that one slide for a little bit, maybe forever.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm interested to know what your thoughts are on a game like this that's been out for a while. So the game released on May 21st of 2024. So we're about a year and a half out of release, and then releasing a new kind of playthrough with an achievement for it. I know the general consensus is people are not happy about it.
I mean, yeah,
what are your thoughts?
I'm not super excited about that. I mean, would it make me go back and visit the game if I liked the combat in that game? Maybe, yeah. But that game is not about the combat. The game is about like the mind, them messing with your mind with the the spatial audio and things like that. And I don't remember the combat being terribly hard, but I didn't play it on the hardest difficulty at the time or whatever. I don't remember dying a whole lot, but I still just didn't love it. So that game specifically, I wouldn't go back and just love the combat enough to try to play it without dying 3 times. That just sounds horrible. I'm trying to think of another game that I would go back and play if they made it even harder. I mean, it would have to be something like
Gears of War.
I just really loved it. Gears of War. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Because Gears 4, they kept introducing updates that would make a new difficulty that you'd have to do it on, like Iron Man and
yeah. The problem with those is like you needed like a 4-person team, and like I came to those games so late that everyone that wanted to do it already did it. So it's just like I'm not going to go through the trouble of finding people. So yeah, that doesn't really excite me. So how do I feel about it? Not great. Do I like it in general? Doesn't seem like it. It seems like a horrible idea. So way to go, guys.
I will say you're not alone. A lot of the things that you said were very common, as I've read in different news articles and forums and stuff, that people are not really happy about it because, like you mentioned, the main focus of the game is Senua's psychic or psychosis. Yeah. And the things that are in her head, not on the combat. And when you're having to do that, and some of the heavy guys, I know people have mentioned that some of the heavy guys could kill you in one shot. That kind of seems a little unfair when you're not really focusing a game on combat. Like if they wanted to do like a speed type run, I could see something like that maybe. Just not really interested in doing it. I probably will someday go back and try my luck at it and see how it fares. But for now, I'm with you and just gonna let it pass by into the wind.
I'm just gonna wait for another year from now when they introduce a new change where they're like, oh well, now you can download
super dark rot.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they'll add another easier one.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
And that'll make that achievement easier, or less of a no, less of an immediate no.
Yeah. Well, that's
Senua has a gun. They did that. They gave her the Halo ODST weapons. Maybe I'd be into it.
Do a war bond for Senua. There you go. This is your last reminder. I think it'll be the last time we record for the month. So the last reminder for targets, you got Hotshot for earning achievements in the shooter genre with 1.5 ratio or higher. You need a gold for that is 9 achievements. You have Family is Forever. You need 3+ achievements with the letters FAM in order of the achievement or game name. You need 9 achievements for gold. And Reloaded and Ready, earning 3+ achievements with Gear, War, Hell, or Dive in the achievement or game name. Gold will be 9 achievements. So if you are looking for your targets, this is your last reminder from us for that. But other than that, we are going to go into the much anticipated game showcase where, it is April Fool's in August because Koosh is going to be talking about a management game and I'm going to be talking about a Game Pass game. We were just going to switch things up. So what do you got for us this week?
Well, I'm still talking about a Game Pass game. You got to get the most value out of it as you can. I am talking about SteamWorld Build. And this is a Thunderful game. They are the developer and the publisher. This is in Game Pass Standard. And it is a simulation management game. The TA estimate for completion is 25 to 30 hours. I'm coming in at about that number. And I've done a little bit of research, but once again, not my genre of choice. So I'm probably not the best at this game. And this game will probably be leaving Game Pass in December of this year. So if you're interested in this, if you're interested in city builders, if you're interested in, Baby's first city builder and Baby's first real-time strategy, which is what this game kind of works out to be, and maybe you want to check this out before it leaves in December. The game has 4 difficulty modes. There's a sandbox mode, which I did not play in, but I've learned achievements are not earnable in sandbox. Then there's the casual, which is their easiest level. You can get achievements in that. There's balanced, which is the default, and it's not that bad. And then there's difficult. And in difficult, the major difference is when you sell a building or sell a turret or anything you built, if you sell it back, you'll get some resources back, if not all resources. In difficult, when you sell things back, or when you try to do that, when you try to destroy a building, you'll get no resources for it. So it'll just be wasted money if you build things and destroy them. And also, the enemies that you fight later in the game, the enemies you fight will just destroy things, and you'll have to eat that cost as well. But there's an achievement for beating the game one time on a difficult playthrough or on a difficult difficulty. What you're going to want to do, or what I'm going to recommend you do, is you do at least 2 playthroughs, and it's not that bad. A lot of the achievements for accumulating things, like clicking on tumbleweeds or purchasing things from the store or chopping down trees, these sorts of really grindy achievements, they count over multiple playthroughs. So you don't have to do them in a single playthrough. Just everything you do in the game is counted. Does a really good job. The achievement tracking works. Blows my mind. It works. It keeps track of how many trees you've cut down. It's amazing.
I love
amazing to see. Yeah, the percentage progress as you're doing that. So that's not a problem. So playing 2 times is not bad. Now, the nice thing about playing multiple times is that when you beat a particular map, and there's different maps you can play on, and I think what they do is they just kind of change like the starting resources. Like, oh, this map doesn't have a whole lot of trees. This map is just kind of like really narrow spaces, so you kind of have to build out, differently than you might, optimally be. You want this kind of the square shape for your little town areas that you're building, where you can slot in your houses and have them be near all the resources they need to be near. Maybe this map doesn't allow you to build wide, instead you have to build narrow or something like that. Right. So that's what those maps basically do. When you beat a map, and you can beat it in casual, nice. You'll get a perk that you can then apply to existing other playthroughs or a new playthrough. So for instance, there's a map called, which I'm currently playing right now on the hard difficulty. On the difficult difficulty, it's called High Roller Dunes. And the perk for High Roller Dunes, when you beat the game, is you'll get free roads and free conveyor belts. There won't be a build cost for them. So you can just go crazy, and you don't have to worry about the resources. You can just have them from the instant you are in a mine and you get a resource, you can build a conveyor belt to it right away without having to pay the cost. That's pretty awesome. Once you unlock that ability, you can get it without having to pay for each square of conveyor belt. So that's a great perk. There are other perks too, things that help make the train come more often. They speed up extractors, so the rate of gaining resources is higher. But by far, I think the most important one, especially for an achievement hunter, is going to be the free roads, because there's a very grindy achievement for building a lot of roads. And when you do that, you're going to need to basically overwrite your roads with the highest type of road and the medium level road. Those are the only ones that seem to tick the counter up. And you can very easily build a scenario where the start and end of the road are very close to one another, but they're very windy, and it'll just do a really big long stretch of road, and you only have to move your mouse or your cursor your controller cursor a little bit to build all that if you build in a certain way. And you can look that up online. I won't go through that in detail, but and that's a faster way, I should say, of doing the roads achievement, which is probably the grindiest achievement that they have in terms of like what it requires you to do actively. Okay, so let's get into how the game actually plays. There's two major modes. There's the topside city builder, where you are trying to make citizens of a couple different types happy. They have workers, they have engineers, aristobots, and they have scientist bots. And you're trying to make them all happy by having different amounts of resources, having different services like gourmet food or gunsmiths. Or,
Are those just shops that you buy? Is that?
Yeah, these are shops that you build, and they either require resources or they generate services. Mm-hmm. Or I guess they could also generate resources as well. Things like they turn sand into glass, or they turn tree trunks into boards, or they turn tree trunks into coal. So based on what you're trying to do, you'll build different buildings, and you can build multiple of them. You can eventually boost them with steam buildings, and they will increase the efficiency of those buildings. For me, not being a huge city builder, I think this is a fair level of complexity for like an intro city builder. So it's not like super crazy. I think anyone that's familiar with city builders will be like, okay, yeah, this is pretty basic. It's not the most basic, but it's definitely not out there. So it's definitely not going to tax your brain in terms of what you have to do. Mm-hmm. But it is a good time. I think everything's cartoony, and it sticks to its theme very well, which is kind of like Wild West robots, steam-powered Wild West robots. And if you're familiar with the series, there's multiple games. They seem to do different genres all the time. There's 2 Metroidvania type games. Then there's this builder game, and then there is a tactical real-time strategy game as well. But it's like a side-scrolling real-time strategy. It's very weird. Go check it out. It's not on Game Pass, so that's why I haven't played it yet. So it's 2 different types of games. There's this topside city builder that you're doing with all those resources and trying to make your various types of citizens happy and keep them happy and balanced and all that. And then there is the when you go down into the mine. Inside of the mine, you have a couple different types of robots. You have miners, you have prospectors, you have mechanics, and you have guards. And the miners will help you to clear out the mines, to clear out things like rock or granite or these other sandstone, all these other types of blocks. And some of those might require you to upgrade your pickaxe, and you'll eventually get to that point where you can get those rocks that were impediments before. You can now get rid of those, but you'll eventually get to a point where there's bedrock, you can't dig into the bedrock, no problem. As you're removing some rocks, you may have to put up some pillars, support pillars, to keep cave-ins from happening. When a cave-in happens, rocks smash down, and if there's anything underneath the rock, it'll destroy what was there, and you have to rebuild it. So you can get your digger bots, your workers, to get rid of the cave-in materials, and then you can build back there again. Or if you're putting up supports as you go, it's much less likely that you'll have a cave-in that can destroy something you built. The engineers are important because they sorry, that was the wrong type. That's the topside type. The prospectors, the blue robots, they'll go around collecting resources. Once you find a node of something like gear parts or oil or dirty water, which needs to be cleansed, or gas, things like that, they'll either extract it themselves, or you can build extractors. Those extractors will, generate resources faster. And then those prospector bots will grab the stuff, take it to the elevator, and bring it back up, and then kind of hits your inventory that way. You can build conveyor belts later on that'll make that faster and more continuous, and you'll need fewer prospector bots. You'll also need the guards. Guards will eventually, in the first layer of the mine, there's nothing to attack you. It's kind of like your learning level. The next level down, you'll run across some enemies, and the next level down below that, you'll run into more enemies. And those last 2 levels there actually will be spawns. Periodically it'll happen, and you'll have to kind of like defend them off. So it won't just be like, oh, I found a enemy behind this wall. It'll be, oh, there's this big spawn area that I've now opened up. I have no way to close it off, and I just have to defend it every 15 minutes, something like that. So yeah, you need to go down there and get those resources because they only are available in the mines. And in order to make certain topside robots happy, you have to extract those resources. So you're kind of balancing all those things, trying to figure out what the nice balance is and get all your stuff done. Well, what you're trying to do, or what you learn is, oh no, there's these monsters are actually going to take over the topside town, and they're going to kill everybody and take over the whole thing. So what you're going to do is build a spaceship and fly away. And every layer of the mine has 2 spaceship parts. Once you find them and you find the way down to the next level, you'll find 2 other spaceship parts. You don't have to pick them up at that time, which I think is key, because when you do pick them up, there's a big attack that happens. You have to defend it for some amount of time, and then you get the part. So I'm kind of saving that for the very end on this hard run. I'm saving each one of the parts defense so that I can just make sure I have all the resources I need, make sure I have ample guards and things like that. Once you get all those parts, you then have to build fuel for the ship. The fuel for the ship requires your scientists to be at 100% happy level. So you have to make sure that all the resources that make them happy are in stock. So that's basically just like a time gate. And also making sure that you're not getting completely overrun by the enemies in the mines, because you do need some resources for the mines in order to make that rocket fuel. But that's pretty much the game. I mean, the real-time strategy component takes place in the mine. The city builder takes place mostly up top, but there's a little bit of city building in the mines too, because you're kind of trying to not overlap things with your conveyor belts, and you're kind of following these restrictions. But yeah, I've had a really good time with it. As far as the achievements, you get the ones you normally expect, like for progression, reaching each citizen tier, purchasing from the store. There's an achievement for your first purchase. There's an achievement for your 100th purchase. That's not too bad. You can actually cheese that really well on the PC. So, and this game does have Play Anywhere. It works really well from the Xbox to the PlayStation, from the Xbox to your PC. I find that achievement was very easy on the PC because I would make sure I had a lot of resources. I saved the game. I then bought the 3 items that were in the store. I then loaded the game. I bought the 3 items over and over and over again, and it kept track of that. And I was not actually spending resources because I was just loading that save. So that achievement is way easier than it looks. I didn't have any success with that on the Xbox. I think the Xbox saves when you go to load the game, or maybe I did something wrong. But on the PC, it works very well. You get achievements for launching the rocket, which is basically beating the game, getting all the parts, getting the fuel, and taking off. There's an achievement for doing that on difficult. There's an achievement for launching without building the turrets. I would recommend that you make your first playthrough a casual, or if you're really comfortable with these games and you want a little bit of challenge, go through on the balanced difficulty level. And just don't use defenses in the mines that are the grenade launcher or the lightning gun. Just stick to the thumper weapon, and the thumper weapon will just kind of slow down enemies. It'll also keep this certain type of enemy called a worm from showing up, so it won't eat your robots. And if you use the thumpers, that's okay. It doesn't void the achievement. But anything other than the thumper, in terms of a weapon, will void that achievement. So I did that on balanced, but I think it'll be much easier on casual. And then so I saved being able to use those defenses for my hard run. I did not want to have to do hard run and the no defenses achievement at the same time. That would not have been fun for me. Maybe for some people, they'd like that. There's an achievement for building 100 decorations. Very easy end game. Not a problem. It just costs money, and you have a ton of money by the end of the game. Having a surplus of 100 of each type of citizen. Once again, once you're at the end of the game, it's very, resources are plentiful. You can very easily build out and have multiple of these citizens. There are also bonuses you can slot into different building types that'll help increase your citizen count of different types. So it's very easy to get this at the end game. Clicking 100 tumbleweeds. Every now and then you'll see like a little thing fly across the screen, get stuck on a wall. You can click on it. Might give you a couple gold nuggets, might give you a couple rubies or something like that. Nothing, nothing huge, but you have to click 100 of these over time, and that will kind of add up. Chopping down 50,000 trees is one of the grindier achievements. And you can set up a map to chop down trees, but then also to sell or build other resources from those trees. Because if you don't do that, your warehouses will fill up. You won't be collecting any more trees. You won't be earning in towards that achievement. So you kind of have to strategically set up a map. It could be one that you've already completed, end game, and you're just doing that just to get the tree achievement out of the way. But you'll do that end game or through multiple playthroughs. Not very difficult, but it might be time consuming. So you'll set that up, you let it run overnight, and then hopefully you'll have it in the morning. But that will take hours.
Or you'll just let it run while we do a podcast.
Or you'll just let it run while we do a podcast, and you'll get 5-10%. Who knows?
There you go.
No, who knows? And then, of course, the probably the grindiest achievement is doing that 100 kilometers of roads, which it just requires you to either have a lot of money, have a lot of resources, and keep doing it over and over and over again, or using that perk from that particular level that I talked about, High Roller Dunes. Beat that on casual, and then you have this perk that makes those cost nothing. Then it's all about setting up your map correctly, and you can see how to do that on I think Steam has some good solutions for that. Steam also has some very good layouts for like your different worker areas. Like, oh, here's like a little worker settlement you can set up that has access to a general store and the this other store that they like, and it's kind of in like a square or a rectangle. And then, oh, here's one for the next group that kind of builds on that level, and here's another one for the next group. And so I use those to help me efficiently build my little settlements, because I wasn't doing it the best on my own. And this kind of helped me solidify, oh, okay, that's where I'm doing it wrong. It kind of helped me to understand the strategy of the game a little bit better. And that all came from Steam. It works really well. I didn't follow any particular walkthrough, but I did just use some of their solutions or their, guides for like, oh, this is the best way to build a little worker settlement. But yeah, not typically my type of genre of choice, but I like the developer. I like everything they're kind of doing with it. So it spoke to me. And like I said, this is leaving probably in December. So I figured I would start it now and get a head start. And that's it. SteamWorld build.
Well, that all sounds intriguing to me. I love myself a good management game. So
I know.
I would like to twist my arm.
I would like to see what you think of it, because you like the more complicated ones. I think this one is not going, it's not going to break your brain at all. I just wonder what you'll think of it as someone coming from that other side of, oh, I really like these types of games.
Yeah, I really liked when you were talking about it, the aspect of like having a top side and a kind of the mine side, because I think that's kind of unique to that. I guess you could kind of see it as in some other management games where you have like different islands or different areas, so you could focus on different things, but just having that aspect of it seems a little different or unique to me.
Yeah, they're almost two different games. Like yes. you're almost playing two different games that are kind of similar, but they require you to think a little bit differently. As far as like how this works on the controller, they designed it to work on the controller from the start. It feels very good. It felt fine on the PC. I didn't even have to think. I just kind of jumped in. It's like everything just worked like you thought it would be on the PC. And I didn't really find myself struggling on the controller to get to stuff at all. Although I did find that my controller is a little bit lagging. Well, not lagging, but it's got a little stick drift going on. So I may have to change some settings. I don't know if the game is overly sensitive or if my controller is just really in trouble.
It's your controller. You're throwing it when you're playing Sea of Thieves or something. You're throwing it across the room, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that is interesting. That is common in management games where you'll have certain areas that have this resource, and then you'll have a different area that you'll colonize or whatever. It has a different resource. So but just having that different aspect of it, I like that, and I will probably, like you said, it's leaving possibly in December, so I won't have to. I might be one I'll have to look at doing here in the next couple months.
Like I said, it's the top. I think the TA estimate is pretty accurate. I'm nearing the end of my playthrough. I just have the roads achievement, I have the trees achievement, and I have beating it on difficult. And I'm on the last level of the mines, so I'm not that far away from getting that beating it on difficult. And then I'll use that perk to make my roads achievement go by much faster.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that is interesting. Yeah, like you said, 25 to 30 hours. It's definitely on the easier side, or quicker side. Maybe not easier, but quicker side of the management genre or simulation genre. Those usually easily run 60 plus hours. So, do you want to try to just see if it's something you like? Sounds like a good one to start with.
I think so,
Um,
yeah.
I will be remiss to not mention that if I remember right, Rocker did a review on this, correct too, or a game
He did, but he did it.
showcase.
He did it on his other. So it's not on not True Achievements. It's not Achievement Hunters. He did that on his Xbox Tavern.
Okay. I thought I remember either watching it or him talking about it one time because it sounded familiar when you were discussing it. So
Yeah, you have to go to Xbox Tavern to find that. It's not AH101.
no, then we'll just dismiss it. No, I'm just kidding. And he was the first one to complete it too. So props to him for that. That's a nice accomplishment there. But
review accounts don't count.
Oh, fine. You're one of those people. Well, that was SteamWorld build. Sounds like something that is interesting for me. It's got a 3.9 rating on TA, so that's pretty good, I think, overall. With almost, you almost can be the 1,200 person to complete it. You're at 1,199 right now, so.
It's a management game that doesn't stink, so yeah.
Well, there you go. Well, speaking of management games that don't stink, and a little bit of an update since our last recording, I was able to finish Farm Together 2. Got my farm to level 200 and got that last achievement in there. If you are working towards that yourself, a nice tip I can give you is to level up your farm enough to unlock Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts are pretty expensive, and we all love them because everyone enjoys eating Brussels sprouts. Who am I kidding? But they give you, I think, if I remember right from the flow chart, they give you the most money from harvesting them. They cost quite a bit in planting them, but the biggest difference between planting and harvesting gives you a nice bump of money. So if you need some money for that in-game achievement as well, which you should have well before it, but just if you're struggling, Brussels sprouts give you a lot of money for that. And then you can, it takes without sprinklers, it takes 2 days to harvest them. So it is a longer, I think it's the longest crop you can plant in the game. But if you do have a sprinkler, it's about a day, maybe a little over a day planting it. So, you go to bed, you plant them. Next day when you get home and you're finishing up for the night or whatever, before you go to bed, you can harvest them, get a bunch of money, get a bunch of XP. Most importantly, if you have that favors going with that we talked about, that gives you double XP, or it can give you money if you want it, or diamonds, whatever you want to use it for. In the city, you can use that, and most of the time I would just use it for double XP, and it just gives you a ton of XP. You'll see that level go up quickly, especially if you have a lot of them planted. Quite a bit of my farm was Brussels sprouts, and you can even go crazier and just have your whole farm Brussels sprouts if you're looking at knocking it out. But anyways, that's a tip if you're looking at getting your farm together, farm up to level 200 for that last achievement. They are doing a cat-themed event right now that I'm having fun with, and my kids are having fun with, because you're planting basically little cat bells in your farm, so they're having fun with that. The other update before my game is I did get to finish Anthem. I think I clocked in just under 60 hours. The estimate is 60 to 80 hours, and I definitely had quite a few hours that I played, especially over the weekend, where I was doing more fun stuff instead of playing it. I think you can easily complete this before its shutdown date in January. So if you need any tips on that, I know I think it was Isred or somebody said, or no, Ace, I can't remember. Someone had said that they might want to pick my brain on that or ask me for some help. I'm more than happy to help with that if you need some help doing some missions or whatever. I got all of my javelins up high and got all that fun stuff. So looking probably like a 45, 50 hour completion if you streamline it. The end game is a little collectible uh, heavy, like Koosh mentioned, and in the last episode that we did together. So just beware of that. But I think the collectibles were pretty easy. There's a lot of good guides out there that are still relevant today, along with some good YouTube videos that could help speed that collectathon up. So Anthem is done. It's on the list. And so I messaged Koosh over the weekend and I was like, dude, I don't know. I was like, I just beat this monster game. And I was like, I don't even know what to do. And it took a few days, but I came across a game that I had been wanting to play and has been on my wish list for a long time. And I was just waiting for the right sale and a time when I could buy it and play it instead of just buy it and push it in the backlog. And then it came to Game Pass, which was just, the cherry on top of the sweet ice cream. And that game is Dredge. Now, if you remember, if I'm going to go back and make sure I get this right, level 284, Rocker Dude talked about this in December of 2024, I believe it was. He had played it right when it came out, and he had a bunch of good things to say about it. And so after I listened to him talk about it, I put it on my wish list and just had it sit there. And I was kind of looking for the right time because I try not to buy games anymore unless I'm going to play them. And it came to Game Pass, like I mentioned, and I just have been trying to clear some other things out of the backlog or games that I want to play, but I got in between some big games that I'm looking at doing. So, this one kind of came onto my radar as I was going through the Game Pass list on my Xbox, and I was like, you know what, this will be the perfect game to kind of just be a little in-between game that has, some good reviews. People have said they've liked it, so I started it up yesterday on, Monday the 18th of August. I've put about, let me see if I can get that in. Where's that? There it is. Okay. Put about 3.5 hours into it so far. It's about a 20 to 25 hour base game completion. And I say base game because it has two DLCs. It has, the first one is the Pale Reach. That is an hour to 2 hour expansion. And the other one is the Iron Rig. The Iron Rig. And that is a 5 to 6 hour completion there. So all in all, you're looking probably about a 25 to 30 hour completion for everything. The add-ons are not on Game Pass. It is just the base game. So if you want to complete it, you will have to buy the extra stuff. But I will say that if it's a game that you like, I think it would be worth it to buy that extra DLC. I'm having a lot of fun with it so far. TA lists it as an adventure and fishing game. I would agree with that classification. So what happens is you start the game. There's not a ton of backstory right now that I've gotten into, and maybe Koosh has gone a little bit further than I have, so maybe he can speak to that if there's some more. But basically, you wake up and your boat is wrecked. You don't really know what's happened to it, but you're at this little town on an island, and the mayor comes out and offers you a new boat, and you have to just pay it off as you fish. So every time you go out, you control the ship yourself, and you just kind of, they'll have little spots that you'll see bubbling up on the surface, and so you just go over there. If you have the right fishing tool, which you'll start out with just a basic one, so you can only do some kind of basic fishing at the beginning. You can go over there. It'll list or have the little fishing icon if you can fish it. If you can't, it'll have I'd say like a slash or a ruler or something like that on there if you can't fish it. So you'll just have to go to another spot to try to fish. But you'll fish. Like Rocker had mentioned, there's a grid system in the boat. So you can't just fish until, your heart's content. You have to kind of piece it into your boat on the grid system, and once that boat is, or once you have enough fish to fill that grid system, or there's just not enough space for any more, you have to return to the dock and sell your fish. And so every time you sell your fish, they'll take a little bit of money out of your profits from selling your fish to pay for your boat. After you do this for a few days, it's not very much. I think he wanted like $50 or something like that, or 75. It was a really small amount, which I was like, I wish I could buy a boat for that much. But anyways, they'll take like $5 or $6 from your $70 of selling fish, and eventually you'll pay off your boat and you basically own it. Along the way, you can fish or harvest other whatever you want to call it, but you can, I guess more appropriately is dredging, since it is called dredge. You can dredge. You'll get the ability to dredge items out of the ocean like wood or metal, and you'll be able to use those to make upgrades to your ship. The other things, I mean, they have a bunch of different fish that I've encountered so far. Everything's going into an encyclopedia, which I believe I haven't looked at all of the achievements yet, but I believe there's an achievement, like an in-game achievement, to finish that encyclopedia or get pretty close to it, if I remember right. Do you know if there is? Oh yeah, there's catch all known species. That's right. I did see that.
Yeah.
So
And the nice thing about that is that you can look it up in the guide to figure out, okay, well, where is this going to be found? You can go to the right type of water and find them.
Yep, exactly. So the guide will have the guide has all of that information available, so it's not going to be too much. There's only 4 main island systems, and then I believe they have some little islands around the area, but there's only 4 main island systems that you'll go to, so it's not a particularly big map. But I will say the one thing that I was a little bored with at the beginning was just the boat was so slow. I don't know if you thought about that as well, but not that I need like a speedboat or anything, but it's just like I was trying to go places and I was just like, man, this is taking forever. You're so slow until you can upgrade your boat to be faster or have better fishing tools and all that stuff. So you just basically, you'll start out at 6 in the morning. You'll leave the dock, you'll go fish for however long you want, and you can fish the whole 24 hours. But the caveat is there's kind of a little bit of a, I would say, a light horror theme on it that you can, after about 7 o'clock at night, most nights the fog kind of rolls in. There's some more spooky elements with some weird fish or what else would you call it? I wouldn't call it like Cthulhu type stuff, but just, like little spooky horror themes in there. Nothing grotesque or anything that I've seen so far, but it does kind of have that day-night cycles that if you want to, you try to get back to the dock or a dock before 7 o'clock at night, and there's docks all over the place. But the problem is that if you catch fish and then you just decide that you're just going to keep going everywhere, the fish will rot and it'll basically be useless, or you'll sell it for a lot less than what you would get if it's fresh. So you'll have to kind of determine if, certain days I'm just going to focus on traveling, or certain days I'm going to catch stuff and get a bunch of money and, continue doing this for a few days, build up your bank to be able to buy upgrades or other things. You'll take that wood and that metal, you'll take it to a ship dock, and you can, increase the size of your hull. You can increase the rods that the spaces, because even your equipment, like your lights, your fishing rods, your motors, those are part of that grid system for your boat. So you can't just put whatever you want in there. You have to fit it into a certain system. So it's kind of like a little, I would say, very, very light puzzle system. But you can't just fish, however long you want to. You're going to run out of space and have to go back to the dock and sell stuff. So along the way as well is some quests that you'll do. You'll visit different docks, and people will be on them asking you to do certain requirements for them. I believe there's an achievement I saw when I was looking through the list quickly to do all of those quests. I mean, as far as I know, there's no missables, so you can just kind of go out and do it at your own pace. I've spent, in that 3.5 hours, I spent quite a bit of time just exploring the world, because I think they've done a good job. It's a nice bite-sized indie game that's just, it's not, these big Assassin's Creed type worlds. It's just it's a nice world to just relax and just fish around. And, my daughters have had a fun time saying, Dad, go over there. Let's see what fish are over there. And I'll go it, and they'll be excited. And maybe I'll pull out a special fish, or one that's weird looking because it's mutated a little bit or something like that. But it's just, I think it's a very nice, relaxing game. It's a game that's, if you're looking for an in-between type game of those bigger either whatever shooters, RPGs, whatever, you're looking for something that's just a little bit more relaxing and maybe a step back from bigger stuff, I think this game should be high on your list to play. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm doing these quests. I'm fishing. I'm having a lot of fun with it so far. What are your thoughts on it, Koosh?
The game is great at atmosphere. I don't normally play spooky games, and I think this does a good job of not being too spooky for me. Although it does get kind of, hectic. I mean, when you're out there at night and you see something in the fog and you're like, what the heck is that?
Yeah, you'll
You
see
like
the
these
purple
red
eye.
eyes, and the
Yeah.
music changes, and it just gets, I start, my blood pressure starts to go up a little bit. I'm like, why? Why am I having this effect of this game? But yeah, like you were saying with the exploration, like you get to an island, and you're like, oh, I want to go around this way, but this stuff. Oh, if I go over here,
Can
I'll
I
get the
make
same
it?
boards. Yeah, and can I make it in time? And like, is this a dangerous body of water? Am I going to run into like a big something in the fog? I don't know. So yeah, it's a really well done game, and it does what it does really well. And I enjoy it, and yeah, great game, great pick.
Yeah, I wanted to highlight it again because I've had so much fun playing with it in these few hours, and I'm going to definitely put some more time into it after we're done here and the next few days for sure to hopefully get more people to play it while it's on Game Pass. I don't know how long it's going to be, if it's going to be a typical year on Game Pass or what, but this is definitely one that you should play, get the recognition out there. So far, it's been been started by almost 59,000 people on TA. It's got a 4.4 rating, which shows you, that is out of, let me see, 782 votes. So quite a bit people enjoy this. But again, the caveat is there is DLC if that's not something that you want to do. It looks like each of those DLC have about 6,000 people on it, so that's about 10% of the people have played the DLC on that. And
be worried. I mean, be warned. This is a just one more type game. Like you'll finish a run, you're like, oh, but I'm so close to being able to get the
yes,
next upgrade for my reels. Oh, I'll just do one more run. But then you'll be like, oh, but I got this one fish, and now I need to take this fish over here. But then I also got, and I found a new area, and there's a waterfall I can go behind. So like,
don't go behind waterfalls. You get trapped. California,
sometimes you
right?
get trapped. Not in this
Some people
game.
have to get rescue, and
Not in this game. You can get behind the waterfall. I'm just saying, there's a waterfall you can go behind. It's amazing.
no, you're definitely right on that. Like the quests so far have not been like too demanding, or too like, oh, I just got to go do over here, just grab this. Like they've been interesting enough and not ones that you can just kind of feel bored with so far. One thing you did mention when you said like fishing poles and equipment. So yeah, there's different fishing poles you'll buy for like the shallow water, for the oceanic water. I know I saw ones that I've been working towards, like for volcanic and other areas. So there are different types of poles that you'll need to bring. You need to upgrade your ship to be able to handle those poles or handle multiple poles. Some poles will take like volcanic and shallow water, so it'll be multiple things. So I'm guessing, to pull in multiple. It'll pull in different items that you can use, so that way you don't have to just try to have 10 fishing poles on your ship and have no space for fish and everything. So
Yeah, because you can't swap out your fishing poles just anywhere. You have to go to a
no,
dock.
yep, a special dock too.
Yes,
You
you have
can't
to go
just it can't yeah,
exactly.
yeah, it can't just be any dock. Like there are docks out there on certain islands that are just for, maybe there's a hermit that lives there or some person that lives there that you've helped build a little house on there. They might not have a dock for you to actually, like a dry dock or
I think they have a
shipyard.
shipyard or a dry dock or something. Yeah,
Yeah,
something like that. It's a specific name to it.
yeah. So it's a lot of fun. It's definitely a game that I think most people will like. It's because it's not too scary. I did notice as I was setting the game up, I'm like you. I go into my options and kind of look at what's available to me. There is a mode. I don't know if it was there when it came out or not, but there is a passive mode that you can still get achievements in that's less spooky. Because I've gone a few days where I've been playing and I'm in the middle of the ocean doing something. It's like 8 o'clock at night and I start heading back, and like it'll make a little notification saying, oh, something's on your boat. And then all of a sudden, like all my fish are rotten.
Yeah.
And I think that plays it more heavily if you don't play on the passive mode, if you play on the normal mode. So there is the option there that you can get achievements on the passive mode and have less encounters, spooky encounters in the middle of the night if you're out fishing. But it's not so far. I haven't played the other mode, but it hasn't been that scary so far. Not that I don't mind that stuff, but I just more like to play more like the ease of play, and just this is supposed to be more of a easier game for me than just trying to do a hard run on Assassin's Creed or something. So,
Right.
but
I'm not
it's
trying to
definitely
not die three times and have the rot creep into my brain. Exactly.
there. You go. There, that's an even better one. Yeah. Although
bring it
the
back.
Rock could, Rock could on this game with all those
Yes, it could.
spooky stuff in there. But I haven't seen a picture of my guy yet. But anyways, that is Dredge. Please check it out. Let's support. Let's see who's the developer. I think Team 17
Oh, they
is
do
the
good stuff.
publisher. Black Salt Games is the developer. Let's support them for this wonderful game that they made. I'm trying to check it right now if my internet will let me, because it's giving me the spinning wheel of death when I'm trying to see. Have they done any other games?
I'm not aware of any other games
Nope.
from
It just
the
popped up.
developer. Team 17 as a publisher puts out a lot of good stuff.
Yes. Yeah, it just barely popped up right after I finished asking the question. No other games from Black Salt Games so far on Xbox, but I remember you've talked about Team 17 before. But anyways, that is Dredge. Check it out on Game Pass. Let me see real fast. Do you remember when it came out? Was it May? It was May.
Oh, I have no idea. I know it's been out for a long time.
For some reason, my internet decided to be really slow right now for some reason. But let me see. Nope, not that one. Yeah, anyways. Oh, yeah. So that came out. Yeah, it was in May. So you'll probably have until May of 2026, unless they extend it out to be anything else. But you still have quite a bit of time to play it. But yeah, go check it out. It's a lot of fun. That is Dredge. All right, on to the segment I know everyone is waiting for, and that's the Game Pass segment, since we just got the leaving news yesterday and the coming soon news today. Koosh, why don't you take us away on what's coming to Game Pass?
Yeah, so the Wave 2 for August. On the 19th, we got Blacksmith Master Game Preview in Game Pass Ultimate. We got Voidbreaker, Game Pass Ultimate. Steam, since TA doesn't have any genre for it yet, is roguelite and first-person shooter. If you watched the trailer during Gamescom, it was the one where they had like crazy upgradable guns, where at one point he was shooting and he had a force field and a wall of it's just like there was way too much going on with the shooting. Once again, did not love the shooters this time, but it was very interesting. August 20th, Goat Simulator Remastered went to Game Pass Standard. I believe it was an Ultimate before, but it should be available to everyone now. It's an open world game, 8 to 10 hours. Persona 4 Golden also went to Game Pass Standard, which is a role-playing turn-based 80 to 100 hour game, but people like their Persona. August 21st. Here's one that appeals to me. It's Hurdling. Game Pass Ultimate adventure game. It looks right up my alley. If you know what that means, maybe you're interested. Maybe you'll just walk away. I don't know. August 26th, we're getting Gears of War Reloaded. If you purchased the previous remaster, which I can't remember the name of right now, then this will be in your library. You should have already gotten a message a month ago, weeks ago, that this was available to you to download on day one, and you own it. If not, it's in Game Pass. Once again, Game Pass Ultimate. This is a third-person shooter, 150 to 200-hour campaign with multiplayer as well. So you're spending a lot of time in that if you want to get the series completion. August 28th, we have Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Thank you for your service, Wild West, for purchasing this, because now it's going to be in Game Pass Ultimate. It's an action RPG role-playing game with 60 to 80-hour estimate.
Yeah, stupid peer pressure. I was having a good time talking about Dragon Age Inquisition. Afterwards, you messaged me. You're like, "Hey, if you liked Inquisition so much, you should buy Veilguard." And that was when they were doing those like for you sales, and I think it had it for like $35 or something. I was like, that's not too bad. I'll probably pick that up. And then I was like, months would go by, and I was just like, you know what? I really need to start it before it gets into EA Play. And then here we are. It's in EA Play. But I'm excited that more people get to try it out.
Yeah, and you're one of the cool kids. You played it before it was cool.
Oh, I haven't played it yet. It's just sat in my back.
Oh, I know. I thought. Oh,
no, I say that's what I was saying. I was like, I need to play this before it comes to EA Play, because I knew I could have just waited and done it. But I'm glad to support them. I've enjoyed the Dragon Age games quite a bit, and
I distinctly remember you reviewing this game, so I don't know what I am thinking of.
Oh, you're thinking of Dragon Age: The Inquisition. That's the one before this one.
No, I know you did that. I know for a fact that you did that one, but for some reason I thought you had played this one specifically.
I'm sorry. I guess I misinterpreted what you were talking about. And as far as Gears of War Reloaded, I believe the one before it was Gears of War Ultimate Edition, right?
Yeah,
Is
I
that
think it
what
might
it
have
was
been the
called?
Ultimate Edition. But yeah, if you purchased that, and I did, and I didn't remember purchasing it. But if you purchased it, then this game is free.
You know, and I just imagine you falling asleep in your chair and then just, waking up and there's 10 more games in your backlog. That's how
Funny
I imagine.
story.
That's how I
One of the
imagine.
guys I'm not going to name names, but if you know who I play with, you know who it is. Uh, Absolutely has that problem. Sometimes, gets has a good night, gets a little comfortable with his drink, and wakes up and finds that he's purchased a whole bunch of stuff. So,
Oh,
but
man.
that did not happen to me that time. No.
All right. Moving on to the news of what is leaving Game Pass. I know the section y'all dread because you're trying to get anything you want to get done before it leaves. We have the Borderland 3 Ultimate Edition on Xbox and PC. It is first person
Stack.
shooter, role playing, open world, dragon, or not dragon crawler, dungeon crawler. You're looking at probably a 100-hour completion plus. I reviewed this game a little bit ago, I believe. It was a while ago, I guess more now. But yeah, with the Ultimate Edition, there's a lot of DLC and everything involved in that. So you're going to look at a long time. Let's see. I came in at 113 hours. Base game is a 60 to 80-hour completion, and then they have like 5 or 6 little other DLCs, just like every Borderlands game is. But it is not that bad. I think I'm done with the Borderlands series. It's just not my kind of humor anymore. But the new one's coming out, so that's your jam, and you'll have that to look forward to this year. Koosh and I were talking before about Sea of Stars in the Game Pass standard role playing turn based game, 48 to 60-hour completion. We'll probably just end up buying that ourselves, but
Yeah.
I know people have played it, so they really like it. So if that's one that have already started, then you got about a week left to play it by the time this comes out. All right, moving on to the highlight of the leaving soon, Paw Patrol. Mighty Pups Save Adventure Bay. This
Sure do.
is yeah, it's not the first time they've done it. We'll say that. This is an action adventure game that's 3 to 4 hours. Definitely your easiest completion if you're looking for that before it leaves. We have Ben 10 Power Trip also leaving. That's a 15 to 20-hour completion and action adventure game. Koosh, you said that you played this, correct?
I did play this game. I enjoyed it. I did not switch between the Xbox and the PC. And Bob says that there are play anywhere issues. Some things don't unlock on the PC side, so I don't know. Just I played on the Xbox. I had no problems other than I did use guides to find some of the collectibles at the end because there were just so many.
Yeah. Seems like a lot of those games wouldn't be that bad if they would tone down the collectibles a little bit, but here
Or
we
make
are.
it easier to find them, give you tools, to
Sure.
make it easier to tell what you're missing and that sort of thing.
Yeah, some of my favorite ones are the ones where they have like those little arrows on the screen when you like
Mm-hmm.
go past it and it says, "Hey, there's something back there. Go back there and check it out." I like that kind of stuff. Anyway, sorry for that little side trip. The last game that is leaving is This War of Mine Final Cut. It is on Game Pass Standard, survival management game, 45 to 55 hours. So all of these are leaving on the 31st of August, correct? So it is a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So you have about a little over a week by the time this will drop, or I guess about a week, to get any of those games that you want done on Game Pass. Until next time, we'll see what else is leaving. But I know we were looking at it beforehand. It doesn't look like there's a lot of interesting stuff coming up, according to Bloomy. So maybe we'll have a little bit of a reprieve, play some backlog games.
Yeah, I'm hoping to be able to play some stuff, play ahead so I can talk about any Game Pass things I think are worth playing before they're next up to leave. So,
Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying to get some stuff through my backlog. Hopefully, I'm thinking Dragon Age Veilguard might be my next game after I'm done with Dredge, and maybe some other smaller stuff. Or we'll see. We'll see what I have. I know there's some other ones that I'm looking at doing, but I think that is it for Xbox news and game showcases and everything. Koosh, it's been a lot of fun going through that. I'm definitely going to be checking out that Steam game, SteamWorld game. That looks like it's something that would be interesting to me. And if I play that, that means that you have to play Anno 1800. I think that's the deal we made.
No, I don't remember. Don't remember this deal.
Bummer. Anyways, anything else you can think of?
No, just I can't wait to find out what you guys already know about the Team Sherry announcement.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and said that future Koosh is going to be overjoyed with the news, and past/present Koosh is anxiously waiting for that to happen. So, anyways, I think that is it. I am Wild West 08, joined by KooshMoose, and we will catch you later, guys. See ya.
All right, bye-bye. Special mention of the hard ones.
Special mention about how much L is awesome. Awesome possum.
I guess. All right, let me go grab a caffeinated beverage. I'll be right back.
At least he's better than his Mets, that's for sure.
Right, back in a second.
Sounds good. Can't defend himself.